All right, so in this video, I'm going to go over how to kind of turn your paragraphs and stuff into a basic poster using this new tool. So the tool we're going to use is called Canva. So I've written my paragraphs, and I'm going to go into this tool. So just search for Canva, and we'll sign in. So I'm going to log in here, and I'm going to log in with Google because I'm already signed in with my school account. Okay, and we're going to create a new design, and we're going to do it using custom dimensions and width and height in millimeters. And we want our poster to be A3, so dimensions of A3, 297 by 420. Okay, we want it to be the other way around because we want ours to be landscape, so it's 420 by 297, and then click design. Okay, we get a blank A3 canvas here, and we get some options for how to set out our canvas. Okay, so I know that on my canvas I'm gonna have a couple of pictures, maybe 3 pictures. I'm gonna have 2 sets of paragraphs rather than 3. Most of you guys are in groups of 3, so you'll have 3 sets of paragraphs. And then I'm gonna need a little box for my references. So what's that? That's 3 plus 2 is 5 plus 1 is 6. So I need 6 boxes, and I'm gonna kind of make them a appropriate sort of shape, hopefully. So here we have 6. So let's go with that one. All right, so stick the 2 paragraphs here, a couple of pictures, and my references. All right. So the next thing I'm going to do is decide where I want to stick my pictures. So let me get rid of that. If I go to uploads, so here you can upload pictures that you've kind of found on the web. Just make sure you keep your references. So in one of my things I'm discussing emotion. So I'm going to have this picture there. I'm just going to crop it so we can really see that he's a Viking. And maybe the Swedish flag as well. And then in my other one, I talk in all of them I talk about this show. Okay, and then you're going to crop this image. I'm going to move it like that so we can see some of the characters that I talk about. And then once that's cropped, we're going to want to include our next little bit. And one of the other things that I talk about is that the original historical, whoops, I'll get rid of that. The original historical document is also not 100% accurate, so I'm going to crop that one, move that down. Okay, so now I kind of have a good sense of how this whole design is going to work. I want to now insert my text into these 2 boxes. And so this isn't ideal, but if we just choose text and we add a little bit of body text, and we can paste our text in there. So I'm going to go back to my Google Doc, grab my paragraph, copy it, and then paste that in there, and we end up with this enormous thing. I'm just going to reduce the size of it. This is larger than normal font, so I'm going to go down to, no, maybe not 6, that's a bit small. Maybe 8. And then I'm going to change this background so that it's not this color. I'll make it white. Okay, and then I'll move this to here. I don't want it right up against the edge. I want a little bit of a border. And then I don't want this to be centered. So we can go to left aligned. And I want to be able to identify the paragraphs. Well, first I'm just going to make it the right width. Oops. Okay, I'm going to need to make it a little bit smaller. I'll make it 7. going to leave it like that. I'm just going to indent so that I can easily identify the paragraphs. And then I'm going to move this down so that it can fit in a little bit of a heading. Okay, and my heading for this bit, reduce the size to maybe 24, maybe smaller still, 14. Okay, do historical accounts need to be emotionally, or need to engage the emotions? I'll line that up. The nice thing about this thing is that it also automatically aligns things for you. Let me move this down a little bit more. Okay, so there's my one paragraph. And then here I'm going to stick my other paragraph. So let's again change that color to white. And then my second pair of paragraphs is about creativity or imagination. And I'm going to add a little bit of body text and reduce that size to the same size as my other one, 7. And I'll pop that just next to my other picture. And just move it down a little bit to make space for my other little question. And I want to left align that too. And then I'll just pick this. And my second paragraph begins here. Okay, and we want a heading for that one too. I made my other heading size 14, so I'll make this one size 14 as well. And this one is more about what role does imagination play in historical accounts. Okay, cool. Okay, so that's that paragraph sorted. Now I just need to add my references. So I kept all my references. I used I think I used bibme to get these. I'll go back to my design here, and I'm going to put my references in this little box here. So once again, I'm going to add a bit of body text, stick them in there, reduce their size. I think 7 was a pretty good size, maybe, yeah. 7. And these ones should also be left aligned. And I'll change this so it's white. And make this a bit wider. Okay, so they still can't fit, so I'm going to need to shrink them down a bit more to 6. And that's good enough. And then I'm going to add a heading to that. And I will make that size 16. Okay, so there's a basic poster design. Obviously, you can make it a bit more exciting by changing the background color and the font and so forth. But if you can just get the basic design done, then you'll have what you need. The most important part of this is that you have the paragraphs sorted and that you have all your references recorded. And the last thing to do is to download this as a high quality PDF for print. It'll first save it. It'll arouse the Canva elves to do some work. And once it's saved, it will download as a PDF, which you can then print and depending on the quality, we can get them laminated and stick them up on the wall. And this is cool because it'll give us all some. Okay, so there's a problem. It might take a couple of goes. It'll give us all a resource that we can look at to have a look at some of the different aspects of history that were covered by the different groups. And that'll be a useful starting point if you want to incorporate history in your essay or your presentation. Okay, so I'm going to end the video there. What this does is it'll download eventually, when it works, a high quality PDF which you can then print.